Hey guys, it's Tara and welcome back to another episode of Bake In. Today we're going to be taking inspiration from... Oh my gosh, is it stuck? No. We are going to Lebanon, one of the most beautiful places I've ever visited. So when I was there, I ate some really delicious food, but the top thing I ever had was the za'atar manakish. And who better to ask for advice than my lovely Lebanese friend, Janan. Hi Janan, how are you?
Hi, I'm alright, and you?
Good, it's good to see you. So I'm going to be putting a spin on one of my favorite Lebanese dishes, the manakish with za'atar.
Well, we pronounce it manakish.
Manakish. See,
Okay.
I'm learning so much already. So I'm going to be making my own za'atar and then making it into with focaccia, and I'm using also some olives in the focaccia to kind of signify the big breakfast that you guys have in Lebanon, which I absolutely love. Right?
Thanks, sounds good.
Yeah, so what is a manakish?
So manakish is the plural of manouche. Manouche is a flatbread
Okay.
with a specific topping. So there are different types of topping. It is made from flour,
Yeah,
water, yeast, and olive oil. So that's the mix
perfect.
for the
Okay.
manouche. We have like different textures of manouche. It can either be thick, thin, crunchy, fluffy, so depending on how they make it.
What's the star ingredient or the star topping for you?
So actually, there are more than 60 types of manouche.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, the most famous ones are actually za'atar manouche, which is thyme. Like actually now we have dessert manouche where you have chocolate on your manouche or
Oh.
peanut butter on your manouche. Yeah.
Quite creative. That's quite good. How do you serve manakish? Like, when is it served and what components can I eat with it?
So ideally, you would want to eat your manouche straight out of the oven.
Okay.
Usually how we eat manouche, it's mostly like gathering, a family gathering where we have manouche for breakfast and
Yeah.
you can have it with labneh. So labneh is like concentrated yogurt. I
Yeah.
know you like labneh.
Yeah.
And you have it with like vegetables on the side, mainly tomatoes, cucumbers, mint, and olive.
Okay.
And sometimes you put them inside the manouche, you roll it and eat.
Like a little sandwich, pretty much. I'm gonna get started and start baking some bread. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
See you soon, bye.
All right, so I got some great tips from my friend Janan, and now it's time to make the za'atar focaccia with olives. Let's get started. You will need bread flour, salt, sliced olives, olive oil, sugar, water, yeast. First up, we need to make the focaccia dough. So quite simple, I'm going to be using a stand mixer to make it so that it kneads it really well. You can also do this in a bowl with a wooden spoon, not a problem. Everything is going to go in a bowl. So I've got the bread flour, got my sugar, salt, the yeast, olive oil, and use nice, good quality olive oil for this, because that is one of the star ingredients in a focaccia, is all the oil, and then water. I know it's pretty crazy that we're just putting this in, but guys, trust me, once it comes together, the yeast reacts with everything, and it's gonna be so light and fluffy and delicious. So we're gonna keep this going for maybe about like 5 minutes or so until it kind of becomes a smooth dough and it'll pull away from the sides of the bowl. Basically like cleans the bowl by itself as it picks up all the bits. Amazing. So that was quite quick, wasn't it? Look at that. Nice and sticky. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add these sliced green olives. I'm using some nocellara olives. You can even use black olives. Just make sure they're pitted and slice them up. And I'm going to mix this on a low speed to incorporate them. So I'm just going to open it up, scrape it down so that I can make sure the olives have been spread out evenly throughout the dough. In Lebanon, when you're having this za'atar manakish for za'atar manaish, come on, I know this now. They serve it with olives, so I thought why not put them inside the focaccia and enjoy them that way. I'm just going to continue mixing it. I'm going to turn it up a little bit higher so that it really kneads that dough. Everything's moving. And that's not even on the highest speed. This is the highest speed. Alright, so it is done. The reason it is quite sticky is because it's got a high hydration, which is going to give us all those lovely airy bubbles that we just absolutely love in focaccia. I'm trying to get it all off here. Come on! Alright, so what I've got here is a big bowl that's got a nice coating of really, really delicious olive oil. And I'm using the same olive oil that I've used in the dough because it's going to be infused and it's going to soak it up as well. I'm just going to put a little bit of the oil on my fingers here because it's going to help me take it out of the mixer and just drop it in. So it is a sticky mess. That's okay. I promise it's going to be absolutely beautiful. And I'm just gonna coat it in the olive oil. Can you see all the olives in there already? So it's going to look fantastic. Sounds. So it's in. It's all covered in oil because I don't want the top to dry out. Got my cling film, saran wrap. So I'm just gonna cover it nice and tight. And there we go. So this is going to rest until it's really doubled in size. And every hour, dip your hands in some water and fold the outside edges into the middle. Keep it covered again and continue doing that every hour until it is doubled in size and really bubbly. So we'll see this guy in an hour for our first fold. You will need dry roasted coriander seeds, dry roasted cumin seeds, dry thyme, salt, sumac, sesame seeds, and olive oil. 45 minutes till lunch. All right, now on to the za'atar. So what I've done here is I've dry roasted some coriander seeds and I've dry roasted some cumin seeds. And what that does is it brings out all the aromatics and the oils. So when I grind them, they're gonna be really, really fragrant. I'm just gonna blitz them until they're pretty much coarsely ground. Lovely. Oh, it smells like home. It's so nice. So I've got a bowl here to which I'm going to add those ground spices. And then I'm going to add some sumac, which is a sour flavoring. So it almost tastes like lemon. It's really delicious. Got some salt. Got some dry thyme as well. If you remember, Janan said that thyme was one of the za'atar ingredients that they use. And then I've got some toasted sesame seeds. So I'm just gonna stir these together to combine. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pour some oil into it and mix it to make it kind of like a paste, but like a wet paste. I'm gonna make it so it will be able to spread on the focaccia. So that's the za'atar mix done, ready, set aside. The dough is still rising. So in that time, I'm gonna prepare my little breakfast spread, which consists of some labneh, which I made last night. I just strained some Greek yogurt with a little bit of salt until it's really nice and thick. And then I've got some more olives here, tomatoes, some cucumber, and some fresh herbs, just like Janan said they do in Lebanon. So the dough has been rising for about an hour now, so it hasn't risen completely, it's still got a way to go, but we're gonna do our first fold now. And you can see it's nice and jiggly and there's some air bubbles in there forming. So what you're gonna do is take your hand, dip it in some water, like so. And this is gonna make sure that the dough does not stick to your hand so you can fold it easily. And it also just adds a little bit more hydration to the dough, which will never hurt it. So I'm just gonna go down, lift it up into the middle, and then just keep doing it on all sides. It feels really nice. And just dip your hand in the water as you need if you find it's getting sticky. And what this is gonna do is just help incorporate all that air and keep the dough covered in that lovely oil. Just don't knead your dough, like don't punch it down. You don't wanna pop those bubbles, air bubbles. What we're trying to do is kind of make more bubbles, and by lifting and incorporating that air, we're gonna get really nice, sexy focaccia bubbles. And that's it. And then we're gonna put that cling film back on and let it continue rising for about another hour or so, and then we'll keep flipping it. The dough has risen. I have done a few folds. It looks amazing. It smells amazing. There are so many bubbles. It's just what I want. So what I've got here is a baking dish that I've lined with some parchment, and I've drizzled olive oil on the bottom of it just to coat. And we're gonna just pour this beauty right in. Super jiggly, really, really airy and light, which is beautiful. Oh, look at all those olives. I'm just gonna be very gentle with this because I want it to kind of release on its own. Oh, this is so nice. See? Lovely. So I'm just gonna gently help it go to the sides, but not too much, because as it sits, it's gonna push into the sides as it rests, because we've transferred it into a new dish now. That's it. So now I'm just gonna cover it, and we're gonna let it rise until it has risen again. It's all about rising with focaccia. So it's gonna rise to just about here, which is almost double. It'll fill up all the edges, and then we're gonna bake this beauty. And if you live somewhere that is very cold, like London or Canada, where I am. I'm not in Canada, I'm in London. My cling film's not working. Why do I do this to myself? Oh, there we go. You can always pop it into a very low, warm oven, and that will help your, oh my God, I've done it again. God, this is why you just keep it in the box, isn't it? Ta-da! So, if you live somewhere, the a little bit colder. So just a couple tips. I'm going to actually put mine into an oven about 30 minutes so that it does double in size. And then we'll be ready for the za'atar to put on top and do the really fun part with the focaccia. Can't wait. Oh, it feels good to sit. There's something coming at me. Every day. See, I can catch. Problem is you can't throw. Just like gentle. Don't like whip it at me. Just gentle. Gentle. All right, guys, another envelope with some surprise inside. Okay. For every letter of the dish you are making today, name something you'd eat or drink for breakfast. No repetitions. All right. F.
You have 60 seconds.
I mean, F. Fudge.
Eat fudge for breakfast?
French toast. Is an egg in French. Crepe. Is there two C's? Is it F-O-C-A-C-C-I-A? Shoot, how do you spell focaccia? Crepe. Idli, which is an Indian breakfast. No, I messed that up already. It's wrong. A. Apples. C. My playmate. I got nothing. Crispy apple, crispy pear, idli, and mango. I said way too many things that were Indian and didn't actually start with a C. Crispy apple, crispy pear. What's another C thing? Cronut. So the dough is now completely risen. It's looking absolutely perfect. I'm just gonna very gently peel back this cling film because I don't want to pull the dough when I do it. Let's give it a little nudge. It's just an art form of taking off cling film really slowly. So you can see it's really risen right to the top. There's lots of air bubbles and it's really jiggly. This is gonna make for a nice and airy and light focaccia, which is exactly what we want. But now, time for the za'atar. So I'm just gonna spoon this over all of it. Smooth it out just so that it's all coated in this beautiful za'atar mix. And then, the most satisfying part of making focaccia is make sure all my fingers are coated, make sure they're nice, clean hands. And then what we're gonna do is just take our hands, put them right in. And make sure you touch the bottom. It's gonna kind of deflate the dough in parts, but then other parts are gonna really puff up into bubbles. You guys see all these big bubbles that are coming up? And that's it. Just keep poking holes wherever you kind of want one. So I've got some flaked sea salt here, and I'm just gonna sprinkle that over top, give it that nice salty flavor, because we did add a little bit of salt to the za'atar, but not too much. So this will add a nice salty crunch as well. And that's it. And now it's ready for the oven. I've got an oven preheated to 180 degrees, and this is gonna bake for about 18 to 20 minutes until it's golden brown, and it's gonna be absolutely delicious. So let's put it in the oven. And here it is, the masterpiece, the za'atar and olive focaccia. It looks amazing, it smells absolutely fantastic, and I'm super eager to cut it and see the inside. So let's give it a slice. It is super, super spongy. Depending on how much bread people like to eat, this could serve about 12 people, but if you have me at your table, maybe like 6. Oh my gosh, guys, the aromas of this za'atar is absolutely incredible. I'm just obsessed. All right, are you ready for the reveal? I am. Look at that. Oh my gosh, and you can see all of the olive specks. Perfect. There's gonna be so much flavor in this focaccia. It's nice and airy, spongy. I am so happy. I'm gonna take a bite. Wow. I don't have any words. It's so good. That za'atar has so much flavor in it that has been imparted through the oil into this focaccia dough. It is beautiful. You got a little bit of, not bitterness, but you know that olive flavor? You get that. I'm gonna have some with some labneh and a little bit of sumac on it. It's really nice. It's gonna cut a lot of that oil from the focaccia so it tastes really fresh. The labneh goes beautifully with it. You can even slice it in half. Make yourself a nice sandwich, put some labneh, some cucumber, tomatoes, maybe some more olives, a little bit of mint, just like they do in Lebanon, as my friend Janan said. And just go for it, or dip it, dunk it, do whatever you want. Dip it in some more olive oil. It's up to you. It's focaccia. As long as you eat the focaccia, I don't really care. Just make it and eat it. It's so good. Thanks again for watching another episode of Bake In. If you guys enjoyed visiting Lebanon for some inspiration with me today, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to find out where we're gonna visit next. Bye! Bye! this gonna be hard to open? Is that the point?
Put it back.
Don't even get me started on long arms. I'm almost like, my arms are like this, the whole table.
Oh my god.
I am not supposed to be this short. Flavorful, isn't it?
It's so good. It's like manakish.
It's actually manakish.
Is it manakish?
You don't say the K. I learned that today from my friend Janan.
Okay, see you later. That's amazing.
I feel like a YouTube star. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks again for watching another episode of Bake In. If you guys like baking just as much as I do, please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss another episode. See you later. Don't say that. See you later, guys.